SR14 corridor. These two here. This is actually where we are right now. That is Palmdale Station, where where our alignments deviate. You can see where they branch out into the other alignments. It continues on throughout South 14 until it connects into Burbank. These are the proposed forest alignment. The East Corridor, this is called. This was the original area of study, which has been condensed down to this. Now this is our area that we're studying here. You can see the alignment comes down. Through the mountains, through the forest. Goes into three alignments there and also ties into Burbank. The Burbank Campus.
Major expensive geometry for construction.
Is that the one that does the accommodation? Look at a lot of Genghis environment.
Walk around, I've been blown off of them, and they meant to dodge because the vibration and the noise. And they think it's funny, they get a lot of mess.
Building from Palmdale to Modesto and then build the two ends afterwards?
The construction right now is up in the Merced. Yeah, Merced, and then it's going to
just
go
near Modesto.
Yeah, and then it'll keep coming south. That's the plan.
We're just not that far along.
I would say. Oh my God, look at Lori.
So there is that whole process before they it's part of the departmental process. We do try to acquire permits to enter from the owners if possible. It's completely voluntary. If the owners don't want the environmental team going on their property for these early surveys, they can say that they don't want it. Surveys are biological, cultural, soils, and that sort of thing. They're letters that will go out to people that are closely impacted areas. And again, they can choose to sign or not sign. It's completely voluntary.
This is the big picture. I built a 3D map on Google Earth. Here is their route. Right here. This is all of us in Berry Hill Bootlegger, and we're all toast. The entire valley will be wiped out. So I'm going to zoom in on it so you can see. And we'll find your house. are you in this valley?
I'm 5030 Maryville, so I'm to the right. There's Cappy Howell.
Cappy Howell, right about here.
Is next to me.
So you're up, here's Hefner?
Yeah.
So you're up right there?
Yeah.
Is that you?
It looks like it, yeah.
Let's start rotating the map now. There is the first part of the route. So that'll get you. You'll have a train right in front of you. There's the back part of the route. So that's where the train could go. It's going to be, let's see how far that is. That's probably a half a mile or a mile away. That's the 0.39 miles there. That's 0.78 miles there. Okay, so you're within less than a mile of their route. Now, the good news is we have berms behind us that are 800 feet tall. Right there. Yep. Now, believe it or not, there's a route behind that I built. You can't see it. I'll show you in just a minute. I'll show you your house. Let's get to your house again. Where's your house? Right here. Right here, right? That's you. Okay. From your house, you cannot see my route. You can't hear it. No. You won't see it. It's behind 800-foot high berms. Okay. It's right there. It's behind these berms. This is their route. Now let's look the other direction. Let's look east. There's your view east. You're going to see the train all the way through here. This is 7 miles away, and you can kind of see part of what I have suggested. That little tiny blue dot. Yeah. That's it. Okay? Now let's go the other direction.
This group right here. Then you have the national monument. I think he's already going to the national monument.
Start swinging around. You can see you've got an alternate route. What they're doing is going to the lowest spot in Acton because they have to go there in order to put their tunnel there because they have to, in order to meet the grade requirement, they have to go through the lowest spot in Acton. So if we go down to your house, this could actually, this is not exact. This is the route. It could be stuck behind this little hill here. So it's not exact. Right. But that's all you would see. Right where it enters the forest. You could get rid of that little red piece. But now let's zoom up and see where it enters the mountain. So you were right in here somewhere?
Yeah, right.
You didn't see this red. This is the route. Okay. This is where they plan to enter the mountain. It's right around, it's actually right around here. It's the lowest spot in Acton. Okay. Right here. X marks the spot. So I put my route here and joined their route and went straight to Palmdale from that elevation. Okay. So they can stop the train. If they enter here, go up here. Yeah. They can stop the train, same distance, ends up in the same exact spot. It just goes like this. Yeah, okay. And goes around us. It uses their purple border. Yeah, up to here. All these houses in Acton, Shadow Canyon, yes, Country Way, Calm Garden, nothing. No impact. You go back further to Agua Dulce, it's gone. Hey, here's the 14. Beautiful research. It did good. Yeah. Well, an engineer. So you go to Honolulu City. It's going to disappear. That's tunnel.
Okay.
It's all tunnel. There's not a view. You can't see a thing from Montanelsa.
Well, I've been in the deep tunnel in Chicago, and it's an amazing thing to see.
All tunnel. You can't see the route.
And tunneling is definitely a viable possibility.
Well, that's what they're going to do. I guarantee you, this is the route they're going to take. It's the cheapest. It's the most direct. It's the only way they can get slow the train down.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
And
Too bad we're where we're at.
and there it is. That's the route. They just need to make a little horseshoe curve here.
Yeah, I see.
Slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Go behind the berm, and then they can go as fast as they want to Palmdale. They can hit the throttle. They can hit the throttle from here to here. Slow down to maybe 50 miles an hour here. Hit it again and go all the way. It's a lot less money to go through our valley and maybe take one house, one or two,
Right.
in eminent domain,
Right.
and the rest of it just have a train.
Yeah. But it's going to get
Zero value.
It's going to get real ugly.
Zero value.
Yeah, well, basically that's how it goes. Because I was able to show them,
Who wants to live there? Who wants to
contracts
stay there?
that had been researched heavily, and the value that they had placed on my land compared to what they paid. It's a joke.
Everybody from my house to Shambhala
Yeah.
is going to lose their homes and all their money.
Yeah.
The only choice is somehow somebody with a heart and a brain sees this and says, oh, you mean we can move it a half mile that way and put a little curve in it
Yeah,
and
like
save
that.
everybody?
Or if they just continue with the tunnel, but every foot is.
Well, the problem is it's $100 million per foot. $100 million per mile.
Per mile is what it is, yeah.
So we're about a mile.
Yeah. And we're not worth 100.
So we're not worth $100 million. So they're not going to tunnel under us.
No.
That's why they put us as a study area.
Yeah, sure.
That's just to appease
I've seen the
everybody.
study area thing.
Well, here's the study area. I'm showing you. It's right here. There's Shadow Canyon.
Yeah, okay.
All right, they'll be fine. Let's go up and look at the study area. Right there. That's the study area. The tunnel can start anywhere here to here. Where are they going to start? They're going to start here. That's the lowest spot in Acton.
Yeah. That makes sense, doesn't it?
They can't do it from here. They can't stop the train.
Right.
They have to have a 3.2% grade. The only other thing
good to see.
The only thing I could think is that this guy Wilk
Yeah.
goes up to the assembly and says, it's been 8 years. We're talking $300 billion.
Yeah.
Do we want to maybe vote again and see if we want to vote this in on infrastructure? Like on bridges and roads and water mains that are bursting everywhere?
Yeah.
Would that be a better idea right now? Or maybe some ways to catch all the rain that's going into the ocean?
No, I agree totally. But it's Jerry's baby. He wants
$300
to leave
billion.
a legacy.
We got 14 airports. I'm the sales guy.
Yeah.
You think I'm going to go to Palmdale to get to Burbank? If I commute from Palmdale and I work anywhere in the valley, I'm going to take the train to the Burbank airport. How do I get to my job?
Right.
Take a taxi? The new route, east route, goes right over my house. I've lived here for 15 years. Got 75 houses between me and the tunnel. 75 that will be wiped out.
I'm a geologist by origin. I spent the last 40 years working on underground projects. So I've tunneled South America, Australia, Africa, Europe, and North America. Anything in Southern California challenging because of the faults. You know, that adds a lot of complexity. The ground down in the San Bernardino mountains we tunneled. We actually put pipeline across the San Andreas Fault, and we tunneled through the north branch of the San Andreas. So our tunnels paralleled, sub-paralleled the San Andreas Fault within about a mile. And you can expect, you've got granitic rocks, you can expect certain behaviour from that rock. The behaviour on the rock in the granitics there was different from anything I've ever seen before. A lot of difficulties, very challenging. It's going to be no different here. This ground isn't going to behave the same way as if it was in the rocks. It's going to be
How do you deal with the process of all the tunnels? There's some kind of expansion.
Well, the first rule is that you cannot resist the fault. Okay? If the ground's going to move, it's going to rupture, it's going to happen. So what you do is design ductile linings so that it can fail in a controlled manner. So you
Just as the fault,
at the fault, yeah. So I'm looking at a segmental concrete lining all the way through, and then where I've got the faults, and I know exactly where they are, then I'll remove that and I'll use a shotcrete sprayed concrete lining, thin, with steel sets in it to give some rigidity, so it'll fail between the steel sets and buckle. And in the event of rupture, then you're going to have disrupted service while you repair, and it's going to take some substantial repair to have we have a ductile structure that can fail, and then we realign. Because on the east corridor, I've got the San Fernando Fault, Sierra Madre Fault, and San Gabriel all coming from the south. I've actually got 4.5 miles where I don't want to be going from a large diameter to a small diameter to a large diameter. So I'm just going to take it through with a large diameter and say one size fits all potential rupture scenarios.
So is this option a lot less?
This is a lot less challenging from the tunnel side.
Yeah.
I like challenges. This has got an enormous amount of other challenges. So all the alternatives have their issues. So that's the whole.
I think it's as soon as April though.
However, to get to the point where you come out, you're pushing 2.6. Right? 2.5. 2.5 on the high end, right? I don't know, when I do the distance, and I do the elevation change, it's 2.5 and 9.
Clear down the river.
That
theory, this could be tunnel too. Maybe we don't have to pop up.
When you're already going over?
Because she wants it underground.
Well, I want it underground, but I also don't. You're still going to pop up at the 26 point. If you're going to keep it underground, even at the 26 point here, south of Arrastra, east west of Arrastra, then there's no point in making that huge turn. If you're keeping this, not going to pop up here at all.
Right.
Why would you turn?
It's a lot more miles. If we were going to do
2 miles.
if we were going to do all tunnel, yeah, we would change the alignment straight.
But, so instead, assuming that you don't, this alternative for the forest,
But I don't know the exact mileage of that because we haven't really, there's different ways you can do it.
if you take the center line, it is about 4 and 5 miles. So that's the problem. With this alternative that's intended to preserve communities on the 14th Freeway, it destroys Acton to a greater extent than the other alternative. In terms of houses and community and neighborhoods and schools are obviously so we're just trying to figure it out. We're also trying to understand why you guys didn't consider the alternative to go in the forest where we asked. In July and August and September and October. Probably November too.
I think the primary reason is it makes the alignment longer.
But it doesn't. It actually would, well, okay, longer if you want to go do and make that huge S-turn, but if you don't, it doesn't. It's actually a little bit shorter than what you're looking at with this red and green Christmas package that you've given.
You're talking about going way over here.
Potentially, or you could even, if you go in Acton, stay underground and avoid all these homes. You could stay underground. The elevation here is, you said it's 31, probably 32. It looked like you were coming out there, which is actually 34.
32.
Yeah. Well, my topo says it's 34. But to the best of my ability to figure out where the heck you're coming out. So, and then you're pushing 2.5%. My math says 2.6. You said 2.5. You're killing yourself to get to 2.5, then coasting at 2, and then cranking it back down to go 2.6. Why would you do that when you go 1.6 gradually all the way to the south of the E&F? Why would you do that?
It's a safe cost. Being above ground is cheap. So that's a trade-off. Yes, we could get a better profile.
But you're only going above ground where in residential communities.
Doing more damage to the residents.
Even this, it's below ground.
If you guys are going to do it, you might as well, because just like our community, you guys are going to, do stuff that's, not right. That's not right because you're going to save money. That to me, exactly.
Well,
I mean, if anything, you guys should worry about, hey, what's going to be best for the residents? If it has to be built, then that's fine. But here again, what she's bringing up makes total sense. There's alternatives which are not being looked at. It's only at the end of the day, it's ruined the residents, right? For cost factor. That's not right.
also, if you look at this, you're up to about 22 miles now of tunnel on this alternative, right? Did you added another mile or so of tunnel here? Right?
Yeah, that's mostly trench. It's not a...
I'm sorry, it's painted red, so...
No, it's painted red because it's underground. We wanted to convey that it's underground. It's not a bore tunnel, it will be a trench.
Okay, so let me back
It's not as expensive.
Let me just clarify that, because everything we just said a few minutes ago when you said it could be below ground on that red part, it really could be trench, right? When you say below ground, you mean trench. Also, you include trench. I need to factor that in. Okay, so
Why don't you pick that on the map? That's great.
because tunnel, we assume there isn't going to be sound impacts from tunnels. That's what I've been telling this community. That was a big fat lie. If what you call tunnel is a trench.
All of these are will there be a covering? This is the only one that it's just because of the runway at the airport. We have to be down. We don't need to be 200 feet down.
Okay.
the runway has to be covered.
Okay. So it's effectively a tunnel.
So it becomes a tunnel, but yeah, but it's much more detail in how you construct.
All right,
It's
well,
a
that's-
construction method detail. The finished product is
That will be the case here. It will be.
This is not going to be not trenched the way this would be
It won't
considered.
be a mile. Okay. Here's I did, with the more detailed maps, I did the more detailed calculation. It's 12% more tunnel. Well, I mean, now, tunneling, doing a single tunnel creates 12% more tunnels than what you're already looking at, but only one tunnel, not much emissions. Will that financially break this project?
I like your comments. You're very calm.
It's hard to answer the question because it's a longer tunnel versus a series of shorter tunnels. There are a lot of other issues to look at. You probably need a third bore.
What's your mile limit for third bore requirement? What's your zone line?
It has to be looked at on a case by case basis.
Oh, the third bore for this?
Save you a little money here.
Well, okay, so then.
Ventilation, emergency
Right, I understand. I have one word for you, channel. Okay? So, let's according to the line numbers, it's a 12% increase over the number of miles of tunnel you're already at the most. Really, it's more like 11 because you're saving a mile and a half because you're not cutting the southwest and shooting out. So does that financially break the project? Because you've already rejected the alternative, so I have to assume you've already concluded that it's not cost effective, which is why you're not looking at it. Is that correct, or is there some other factors which I'm not aware of?
I can see.
And I'm sorry, Rick, but I really need an answer.
We're planning on
Does it break the project?
Financially speaking,
I don't know if we have.
That's how Shadow Hill is good there.
we were told that you rejected our alternative for cost. I think that's what I understood. Maybe I misunderstood. So,
We haven't added it to the mix yet. We haven't rejected anything. Everything's on the table.
no, actually,
That's
this
why
is
we're
on the
having these
table.
meetings. This is what we're proposing. We're having these meetings to gather input. We may come back as a result of that input and add more lines. Maybe we delete some of these. That's all part of the process.
Well, but the lines will be in this crosshatch area. Okay?
Or is it on the table? We could add a new line somewhere else. That's possible.
How are you going to do that and still get your draft DIR done by July?
That's our problem.
I'm sorry, Rick, you know I love you, but I'm going to keep handing you just this. So I just need to understand the extent to which 10 or 12% per ton would fiscally destroy.
It adds cost. At what point do we reach a threshold that it's fiscally breaking the project? I don't know where that is.
Well, CEQA expects you to do it, and you're going to have that answer.
That'll be part of the analysis.
You're going to have that.
Don't know what that is.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.